What's up, guys? Scotty here. I've recovered from the exit music incident earlier, and now we are starting with Fruits of the Literature Club, which is apparently another great mod. I don't think it's finished. If it is finished, I'll find a better version, but I don't think it's finished. I'm going to do Sayori route first, because I know that is finished, as far as I'm aware anyway. Fruits of the Literature Club contains spoilers for the original plot of Doki Doki Literature Club. This modification contains situations that are not suitable for everyone and contains serious content. By playing Fruits of the Literature Club, you agree that you are okay with being shown spoilers of the original game and consent to being shown serious and potentially disturbing content. I agree. As soon as it loads up, I'll be able to switch it to full screen. It's only because it's new. Okay, let's go to this. There's full screen. Wait, was there 5 girls? Who the heck is that? Who the heck is that? That ain't normal. Okay. Alright. Begin, I suppose. Scotty. Morning sun hits my eyeballs, causing them to squint shut. Having my experience, I'm used to it, but nevertheless annoyed. This is one of the few times I wish I had longer hair, to block out the sun from hitting my eyes. But unfortunately, I am mandated to keep my hair below a specific length. The rhythmic sounds of the train hitting the rails remains a reminder of where I'm destined. I look out of the window that I happen to be sitting next to and into the city. The stories I have heard about this place, when I found out I was coming here, I tell you, it left a sour taste in my mouth. The train begins to lose momentum, signaling our arrival momentarily. I hear a familiar digital sound emanating from my watch, indicating the new hour that we have reached, just as it does 23 other times a day. The train comes to a complete halt. The passengers around me, myself including, stand up and begin to depart our vessel. This person is very well spoken. The moment I step out onto the nicely maintained concrete, I hear a voice calling out to me. Scotty! Scotty! I cock my head slightly towards the direction of the sound and see an old man that used to be an acquaintance of mine. I look towards the man. I didn't expect to see you here, old man. Before me is a man around 5 feet and 7 inches tall. Pretty short compared to the normal people I'm around. His wrinkled face and squinted eyes turn into a genuine smile at the sight of me. Same with you. What are you doing here? Literally just got into town. Oh, you here for anything special? One of his eyebrows lift up. No, I'm just here to go to school. His face changes. It looks as if he's surprised. What's that face for, old man? Never thought I'd hear those words coming out of your mouth, Scotty. Back in, well, you know. You weren't so spry to go to school. That I was not. But times have changed, and I'm ready to go to a normal school for once. His smile returns. He pats me on the back with an all too familiar pattern. Well, that's great. And what are you doing here? Well, I retired. Came out here to live with my daughter and her kids. Daughter? Now there is something I didn't expect you to say. Well, everyone gets old and needs to settle down eventually. Yeah, but I never thought you would. I expected you to remain with the majority of us until you finally gave out. Well, here I am. Do you have a place to stay? Yeah, I have a house somewhere near the school. Eastern side? Northeast. Ah, I know it. Need a ride? Well, I didn't have any other plan. So you were just going to walk there? Pretty much. Where is your luggage? Everything I own is on the bag. Is in the bag on my back. I point one of my thumbs to the black Kevlar backpack I had securely strapped to me. You always travel light, don't you? Easy to disappear when necessary. He chuckles. Come on, let me show you to my car. By your leave. The old man is a pretty stylish car. My father used to have one of these. Your '68 Mustang? She's a beauty, isn't she? Is this how you spent your retirement fund? Oh no, I still have a good half left. So out of the 800 grand they gave you spent over a quarter of it already. Kids aren't cheap. As well as this sexy of a car. The black Mustang accelerated onto a turnpike and eventually into a city street. When we departed the train station, I expected it to be a short ride to the place I'm living at. But I was very wrong. Turns out the train station is about a 15-minute straight drive on the freeway. Doesn't seem like much if you're a driver. But if you are walking, like myself, it would have taken as long as 3 hours. But the convenience of a freeway allows drivers to get across great distances at a greater speed than normal roads. So, are you still on Ashley's detail? The idol? Nah, I left that a long time ago. Trouble from up? Nope, just did as much as I could then. So in short, weren't needed anymore? Pretty much. Bummer. Bummer? I don't socialise well with others. Especially with a teenager with a small degree of popularity among even more hormonal teenagers. Sounds to me that you got in some drama with this girl. I don't know what you're talking about. I looked back towards him, a casual glare into his face. Oh, come on. Don't tell me you didn't try to get with her. Are you serious? No. Good. You know that isn't allowed. That and I don't really have the need for any type of relationship right now. Or at all, if I really look at it. You will eventually. Doubt it. Remain quiet for a few moments. I keep thinking on my comment about the relationship. It's not like I don't want one. It's the fact that, in the position I am in, it would have a lot of unnecessary stress. It's not every day that I can just breathe and live a normal life day by day. This guy is literally like Connor, this android sent by Cyberlife kind of guy. He is really analytic about everything. This is brilliant. I like this guy. Every day has a small amount of repetitiveness with it. But that is another story. Almost there. Again, I appreciate the ride. You should stop by one day for dinner. I think my daughter would love to meet you. Why's that? I ruffled my eyebrows at him. Because you're basically like me when I was younger. She's always nagging me about telling her about my younger years. You haven't, right? Of course not, I know better. I was about to say. Don't lecture me on the policies I lived by for 30 years, Scotty. With age comes easiness, old man. I still think I could take you. That would be interesting. I still am active, you know. How so? Granted, the man was old, but he still had a pretty fit body. Usually as a man gets older, especially where I come from, to just let themselves go. They say, screw it, I worked hard these years and I earned this. Then they just let their bodies waste with alcohol, tobacco and junk food. I teach a self-defense class downtown. Well, that's one way. You should pop by. Give some of the ruffians in my classes a little reality check. Why is that? Because you and I both know never to underestimate an opponent. They could be just as clever, attentive, aware, and more skilled than you. Ah, the old 1x4 rule. Exactly. As you say those words, we turn a steep corner and find ourselves in a pretty nice suburban neighbourhood. This it? Yeah, this is it. I pull the polished metallic door handle and exit the car. I look back at the man and give one last gesture of farewell. Thank you, Jeff. Jeff. My name's Jeff. You got it. Before switching gears and leaving, he gives me one last smile. Well then, let's check this place out. I look around the neighbourhood and notice that the suburban block has some the same architecture for almost all the buildings. I take a look at the spacing between the house I'm living in and the one next to it on both sides. I check the integrity of the fence, the borders. Decent strength. I take a stroll around the perimeter of the house. I take note of the number of windows, their position on the structure, and the height from the ground. The second story window should be fine. I take a note of what looks to be the balcony and the back door. As I walk towards the front of the door, I notice a girl walking down the street. She's wearing a counterpart of the uniform I was given for school, so she must be going to the same school as I. She has somewhat of a skip in her step. Her blue eyes look up into the sky and at flowers as she passes by. It's Sayori! Her hair is of a coral pink colour. Sayori! She has a bright red bow on the left side of her hair. It looks sloppily positioned. It's because I swear I see her glow. That girl seems to just emanate joy. I scoff at her and turn myself to the door. Kid will learn that the world isn't all sunshine and rainbows as she thinks. Sorry if I'm slurring a little bit, my nose is pretty bad at the moment. I unlock the door and enter. Immediately I'm greeted with the short hallway, around 3 steps before the kitchen opens to the right. The kitchen is rather modern and well furnished. I check the fridge and nothing. I chuckle at myself, not knowing what else to expect. The place is furnished, but I was just curious. I close the fridge and look out into the living room which borders it. Take a look into the living room and out the windows. Give me a second, guys, I'm just got to deal with something. Sorry? Sorry about that, guys, I'm right back. I take a look into the living room and out the windows. I look and see if I can see the space directly below the window. I can't. I walk across the room and open a small white door. It leads into a laundry room fit with washer and dryer. Luxury. It would definitely be easier than manually washing and drying clothes. I close the door and head upstairs. Immediately on my left is my bathroom, and across from that is my bedroom. I seriously did not spare any expense for the decor here. In my bedroom is a closet, dresser bed, desk, and several miscellaneous items to make it look lived in. I take a moment to place my backpack on the bed and survey the area from my window. Once I get a good understanding, I walk out of my room. Next to the step is a sliding glass door that leads to a balcony. I walk out onto the medium-sized cement balcony. I lean forward on the wall, my forearm supporting me, and look out into the neighbourhood. I can see some grade school age kids playing with a jungle gym some well-funded parent purchased. I see an old man petting his dog in his front yard. Neighbourhood watchman here, huh? I look to my left and notice the same girl I saw earlier in her room. I didn't realise I lived so close to her. Through the glass window of her bedroom, I notice her moving around from the left side of her room to the right. She's moving something, most likely a change of clothes. She stops in front of the window, facing to the side. She makes a few faces which confirm my initial theory is confirmed. She's looking into a mirror. She undoes a red tie, pulls off her grey jacket and starts to unbutton a white undershirt. Yep. I turn away from the view and return inside. See, he's honourable. He's not just going to stare and, perv. My watch beeps, indicating it's now 2000. Oh god, military terms. Ooh, I love it. 4 more hours until midnight. Normally I would be in bed by now, but I'm waiting an important call. Doesn't bother me much since I've gone days before without sleep. Losing a few hours for one night isn't going to kill me. I kick my feet up on the opposite end of the couch and lean back. I continue to read the book that I have in my hands. I made sure to turn on the news earlier. Got a general idea of the community here. I've made it a habit of mine to always check the local news to scout out the area. See whether there is high crime, no crime, political activity, the usual. I'm not a big fan of politics, but knowing the local debate helps me understand the people better. The sound of my phone going off shiver down my spine. It isn't the sound that sends the feeling down my back, it's the reason for it. I answer the phone call. Morning? 6 o'clock hits and I'm already ready for school. For a normal person not used to wearing uniforms, the school's outfit does seem a bit excessive. But since I've been in uniforms all my life, this is nothing to me. I take a look at myself in the mirror for a quick medical check. No wounds or scratches overnight. I take another drink of water and plan out my day. I will follow my normal school schedule, and on my way home I will stop by the grocery store and pick up some food, then head home. Once I get home, I will go on a run to get me further familiar with the area. and when that is done, I will be on free time. I take a last look into the mirror and retrieve my bag. As I reach the gates of the school, I notice a congregation of students in the courtyard. There are little groups of students huddled around each other, all doing different things. Some were on their phones, just ignoring each other, some were running around acting like children, and some were socialising with each other like normal people. I ignore them all. There isn't a reason for me to talk to any of them. With one backpack strap wrapped around my shoulder, I enter the large white concrete building. After a self-tour of the school, I reach my first room. The school itself wasn't too large. I've definitely been in much larger compounds. It wasn't a problem to find my locker, my first class, and the lunch area. Students passed by me, all casually talking and complaining about everyday things. I silently laugh to myself about some of the petty things these inexperienced people complain about. It gives me a sense of gratitude for where I have come from. I never complained about my phone having a micro crack. Although I didn't get the money to go to the latest movie, stupid things like that slightly irritate me. The bell rings and I enter the class. The third period has ended and it was now time for lunch. I noticed that the girl who lives next to me was in my class, and I had overheard several classmates and the teacher called her Sayori. The name instantly engraved itself into my mind. Without hesitation, students stood up from their desks and departed. I stand up, stretch quickly, grab my bag and leave the classroom. I approach my locker and get ready to switch out my books. But before I could even touch my locker, I hear someone grunting. My head perks up a little and I head towards the sound. It was on the opposite side of my locker. When I turn my head around the corner, say it's that same girl who was in my class and lived right next to me, having trouble with a lock. She seems to be genuinely having a hard time with a lock. Having trouble there, aren't you? I reveal myself. No, I got it. You sure? You look like you can't seem to unlock that. It's hard to do this thing. I walk next to her and touch the lock. What's the combination? What, afraid I'm going to steal your textbooks that I happen to have the exact same copies to? No. Okay, fine. It's 92717. The lock clicks. There you go. What? You got it that fast? I'm very familiar with these types of locks. I'll show her how to properly orientate the combination lock. That's how you unlock these. Thank you. I wave my hand to her locker and turn around. Hey, wait! I turn around to look at her. You're that new guy in class today. Yeah, I remember seeing you while I was talking home yesterday. Talking? That says talking, right? I think it's supposed to say walking. Walking home yesterday. Yes. The name's Scotty. Scotty? I like that name. It's what I was given. Anyway, goodbye. I turn away from Sayori again and return to my locker. Where are you going? I'm going to put away my stuff and then go eat. Don't forget what I showed you. Okay, thank you. The final bell signifies the end of the school day. I grab my bag and depart down the hallway. As I walk down the hallway, I'm passed by two girls who were in a debate about something I didn't care too much about to notice. Something about manga. Oh? Oh, is that Yuri and Natsuki that I hear? I had a schedule to stick to, so I don't stick around to pay any attention to their frivolous conversation. As I reach the gates of the school, I hear a voice call after me. Scotty, wait up! I turn around immediately and prepare for someone to charge me, but I'm only met with the sight of Sayori running to catch up with me. Scotty! What? Also, why are you shouting? You're going to draw attention as if something bad is happening with them. Oh, sorry. Anyway, I had a question for you. A question? If it's something I can answer, I guess you can ask. So, I know you're new here and all, and I don't want to overwhelm you, but have you looked into any of the clubs we offer here at school? Clubs? Elaborate, please. Well, we have little groups of students who participate in extracurricular activities for fun and get experience for college. Okay. What is your point of asking me this? Well, I was curious to see if you would join mine. You have a club? Yep, I'm the vice president of the literature club. Literature club. So you just read books and write all afternoon? That is a pretty mean and blunt way to put it. Well, excuse me, but it doesn't sound very attention-catching. I think I'll pass on that proposition for now. Not even if asked really nicely? No. Meanie. I've been called worse. Sayori flashes a pouted face towards me a couple of times in an attempt to break my resolve. Unfortunately for her, I'm very efficient at keeping a straight and professional face when needed. Every morning, afternoon and evening, I always had a friend who would pay our class a visit and make sure we were all professional. Anyway, I'm going home. You enjoy your club. Okay, bye. Turn away from her and head home. As I watch the steak on the portable oven grill, I occasionally glance over to the homework I was given. Normal English and social history subjects were a breeze for me. However, math was a different subject. The math I normally use in life is much different to this general principle they teach in schools. In short, they're two different ball games. But begrudgingly, I continued to finish the work, taking a few breaks at times to continue to make my meal. A lean cut of meat, cooked medium rare with asparagus and rice, all are high in nutritional value and are very filling. I cook several steaks and prepare different portions of asparagus and rice for later meals. It's better to prep your food now and eat it later, in my opinion. That's what I used to do in my old school, where I lived in a dorm with about 80 other students. Made it really easy to wake up when signalled, eat quickly, and get my morning hygiene routine down. I saved my homework into a special folder I've designated for work and I needed to do while home. I finished making the final steak, which I plan to eat tonight since it was the freshest. As I sit down at the table, I eat silently. During this time, I just clear my head and finish eating my food at a fast pace. It's the equivalent of meditation for me, as it is to the others. Back at my old school, it was very hard to remain focused while eating since we only had about 10 minutes to eat our food. That included getting to the hall, grabbing our food, and eating. Normally by the time you made it through the line, you'd already lost 5 minutes, so eating fast was paramount. But it was during these times I learned to focus only on eating. If I cleared my head, it was much easier. I found it oddly calming. I gained quite an appetite after my run around the block earlier. I now had a good idea of the ins and outs of the neighbourhood. Some may ask why I do this, but the answer is simple. Know your way out of any situation. You never know when you need an immediate escape. While I was returning from my run, I saw Sayori arrive at her house. I had an opportunity to say hi, but I dismissed it. There isn't a reason for me to get involved with that girl, or anyone for that matter. Why would she even ask me to join her club? There are a couple of possibilities. She's lonely, she's attracted to me and she's looking for a way to get to know me more, or she is just inherently friendly and bubbly. But it is kind of foolish such a request on someone you only just met. A lesson I learnt very well as a young child. Ever since then, I'm always cautious about where I am and who I meet. Even someone as simple as looking as Sayori can hide an evil past. One that we cannot run from. I shake my head, breaking myself out of these thoughts. I finished my dinner long ago. I quickly clean the dishes and put them away. Oh, next day. I'll go through one more of these scenes and then as soon as this cuts again, I'm probably going to save it. Lunch period has arrived and I do my book exchange as normal. Once I close my locker, I hear another grunt from the opposite side. Probably Sayori. I peer around the corner and sure enough there she was. She looks like she's struggling with her lock again. Before confronting her, I watch her carefully. She's definitely trying the way to disarm the lock that I showed her yesterday. So that is good, I guess. I watch her to see if she's successful. Click. The lock releases and she opens her locker with a happy smile. I turn around and return to my locker, but before I could really do anything I hear, "Thank you, Scotty." She saw me? Damn, she has a good peripheral vision. No problem. I call out from my locker. I close the silver-coloured door and turn around to notice that Sayori is right behind me. Jesus Christ, woman! Hi. Didn't your parents ever tell you not to sneak up on people like that? You didn't notice me walk right past you? Evidently not. Oh, I'm sorry. Not like you intentionally attempted to scare me. If you did, then I would have to fight you. Ooh, what? I'm just joking with you. That isn't funny. Where I come from, that type of humour is just the tip of the iceberg. Huh. Just a villager one. Anyway, what did you want? Well, if you thought about the literature club thingy that I asked you about yesterday. That's this again? Pretty sure yesterday I told you no. Well, it was worth a shot. I guess. Anyway, I guess we'll talk to you later. Leaving so soon? Huh? Don't give me those puppy dog's eyes and run away at a simple rejection. In life you're going to face a lot of it, don't just run away from them. Plus, I saw you eating lunch alone yesterday. You did? Yeah, need someone to eat with today? No, you're probably just going to be a meanie again. I'm not being mean, I'm just telling you the truth. The truth is not always easy to hear. Still... Okay, I will join your literature club, Sayori. Really? No. You're so mean! If you try to pussyfoot around the truth, it hurts more. Better than I denied your invitation now, than to lie to you later. I don't like this. How about we go eat now? If you don't ask me to join the literature club again, I won't be a meanie. I make quotes with my fingers. Other than that, we should be fine. Okay. Sayori and I make our way to the lunchroom. It is a gym-sized, multi-purpose room that's been riddled with several rows of wooden tables. Definitely enough to fit the number of students eating lunch in here. We get our food and sit down at a nearby table. Sarah and I begin talking to each other. And by each other, I mean her. So tell me about yourself, Scotsy. There isn't much to tell. Well, there has to be something. Why do you come here? To go to school. I went to another school far away and decided I need a different and new start. Oh, why's that? Just felt like it. It's a saying we used at my old school for don't ask about it, you don't need to know. What about you? Why are you here? Well, I started to go to school here when I came. That was 12 years ago? And you're how old? I'm 18. So you've pretty much spent all your life here? Yep. Interesting. So what do you do for fun, Sayori? Oh, lots of things. I like to draw, I like to read, I like to run around and play. And I like to play with animals. So overall you're pretty random. Yeah. Well then, what about you? Huh? What do you like to do? Read. Read? Is that it? Well, I exercise a lot, but I don't really consider that a hobby of mine. I need to maintain a level of fitness at all times. Huh? Why? Just feel like it. Okay. Anyway, we're done with lunch. Let's go back to the lockers. Okay. My Sayori voice is not very good at the moment because I can't really put on the voices at the moment. I close my locker, the rest of the class's books in my bag. Thank you for eating lunch with me, Scotsy. No problem. Oh, yeah. Huh? Would you walk home with me after school today? Me? Why? Because we also live right next to each other, so it works out. I'll walk alone. Oh, come on! Fine. Yay! There is one thing. A catch, I knew it. When I decided to walk home with her, I knew she had something hidden. Usually when someone asks you something, there is a motive behind the question. I don't seem surprised. Surprised to Sayori. What is it? You have to come to my literature club. What? I told you no. But you said you walk home with me. And I walk home after the literature club. I can very easily change my answer to a profound no. But I promised the other members I would introduce you today. Don't make promises you can't keep. They're all really excited to meet you. One that brings cupcakes. How many of you are there? In the literature club? No, in general. You females are so goddamn persistent. It's quite annoying, really. Please, Scotsy? It would really mean a lot to me if you did. I don't really care if it means anything to you. You used a rather sleazy tactic to persuade me to join your club. Don't have to join, just at least stay and wait for me to finish. Meet the other girls in the clubs too, that way you aren't bored. Jesus Christ, woman, you don't let up, do you? Fine, I will wait for you. Yay! Sayori does a little hop while cheering victoriously. Women really annoy me. They constantly nag at you even when they don't have the right to. No woman tells me how to eat my food or when to shower or to do pretty much anything other than my own mother, and she earned that authority over me. The only reason I let a few men order me around is due to seniority over me. Once you're out of that, you no longer control me. It's one of the reasons why I was at the top of my class at my old school. Now I think of it, there was one other woman who could order me, but she's gone now. I'll see you later today, Scotty. Sayori tells me the room number of the literature club before trotting off to her next class. I shuffle towards my next class. I arrive at the room number that Sayori gave to me after lunch. Class had been over for about 10 minutes. Sayori told me to show up at a specific time. I check my watch and wait for that time to come. Alright, here we go. Set an alarm for it, crikey. I open the door to the classroom and enter it. Looks like a normal English classroom. I take a quick second to look around the room, but it wasn't long before a blue-eyed monster obstructed my vision. Scotty, I'm so glad you came. Didn't really have any other choice. Sayori? You didn't see the new member was a boy? It didn't seem important at the time. Natsuki. That doesn't seem like something important. If he's a club member, he's a club member. A tall purple-haired girl arrives at the front of the room with the three of us, probably coming to my defense without call. Wait a minute, I overheard these two arguing about manga yesterday. The boy's ruining everything! Plus he looks like kind of a dick too. I walk into the club room for less than 30 seconds, only said 5 words, and I'm the dick. I get the urge to open my mouth, but I restrain it. If I'm going to be here for however long this club does its business for, I better keep tension low. Because believe me, I know how difficult things can get when you're forced to be around a group of people who don't like you. Natsuki, assuming such a thing about someone right off the bat is pretty hard. Yeah, my feelings are real hurt. The pink-haired girl named Natsuki presumably looks away while angrily gritting her teeth. The most recent girl, the one with the brown hair, is the last to come to my defense. She has a proud and confident demeanor and stance upon her. She catches my eye for a second. Whatever, I'm sorry. Apology accepted. Granted, there was nothing really to apologize for, but I still accepted out of respect. Hi, I'm Monica. Scott. I'm the president of the literature club. If there's anything I can do to make you comfortable here with us, just ask. I'll make sure to take you up on that. Monica looks oddly familiar. I shrugged the feeling and dismiss it. So Monica. Yeah? What type of things do you do here at the literature club? I'm very glad you asked, Scotty. We focus on the study and application of many forms of literature. Interesting. Sayori smiles, perks up. What interests you in literature club? Nothing, I'm only here for Sayori. Huh? She looks to Sayori, who is squirming in her shoes. I'm escorting her home today and she insisted I wait for her here, so I'm just a guest. But I do hope you will join. Oh? Well, I do certainly hope you will join if you're interested. Another member will get us registered as an official club. So if you have under 5 members, your club isn't really a club? Yeah. So I was correct to sense a hint of bureaucracy here. How very observant, Scotty. I heard you were new, which is why I'm surprised you caught up on that so quickly. Well, whenever I go to a new place, I always like to survey everything so I understand the social norm. Oh. Well, I hope you enjoy your stay with us today, Scotty. We're just about to start. Alright. Monica's voice was as confident as statue were. Entertaining to observe. She definitely caught me off guard for a second there. I didn't expect anyone at the school to possess even a shred of sheer confidence. But I was clearly wrong, but from how Monica presented herself. And the fact that she is president of the literature club immediately shows me she is an academic. But something continues to dig in my mind about her. She looks so familiar. Hey Natsuki, when are you going to pass out those cupcakes? I'm starving for one. Sayori asks while taking a seat. The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentions, it's been widened so there is one space next to Monika and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrap tray and Yuri opens a closet. I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Oh my god, the vanilla dialogue. Haha. Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing, little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know, just hurry up and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monika, I follow. It's delicious! Sayori talks with a mouthful, and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki's quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavour. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like I made them for you or anything. Huh? Well, Sayori said someone was making cupcakes in preparation for my arrival. Well, maybe, but not for, you know, you, dummy. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a holster tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Assaulted Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. The vanilla doesn't make sense because he said he likes to read before, so the vanilla now does not make sense. I take a sip of tea and immediately recognise what type of brew. It's a strain of oolong tea, not one of my favourites, but better than the gruel that my old school called tea. Nevertheless, So, Monika, why is it that you started your own club? From what I've seen so far, there are a few large-scale clubs already. Oh, well, you know, to be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. Feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monika's a really good leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. Must be hard for it to start a new club in competition against all the others. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah. We'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monika must have worked really hard to find just these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Maybe that's what... Oh, no. Although I don't intend to lower my guard on this getting Scotsy to join the club shtick Sayori has. So, Scotsy, what kind of things do you like to read? Do you like to read? Me? Well, I don't really have a preference. I'll read pretty much anything I can find. No preference. What was the most recent thing you read? An educational book about birds. Oh. Why birds, if you don't mind me asking? Just felt like it. That time it was genuine. I have read pretty much anything that I can. Until I come across a book about bird spotting. That is pretty interesting, if you say so. What do you like to read, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of a teacup with her finger. My favourites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, and telling a good story in such foreign worlds is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious that by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I've read a pretty good few horror novels. Really? You wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Cerebral horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. No? Why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart open to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were writing a poem called... Don't say it out loud! Give that back! Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hand on her shoulders. I'm not cute! The typical Natsuki. It's perfect. Masterpiece. So you write your own poems, huh? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's of nowadays. Do you show your poems? No. Why? Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Showing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you shared some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. I want to read everyone's poems. We'll sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a member, it will help us to get all. Help us all to get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Scotty? Monica smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on. I raise my index finger. Huh? What's that? Remember I said I wasn't interested at this time? I'm only here as Sayori's escort home. All four girls stare at me with dejected eyes. Step back at me with dejected eyes. It's probably best that I tell you flat out right now. That's right. I'm sorry, I thought. I remember. Better than for me to lie. Better than for me to lie to you all. There we go. The girls continue to look defeated and heartbroken. Damn it. I forgot how difficult it was to get out of these situations with girls. I keep remembering back to the first time it really affected me. Damn it, Ashley. I look down at the floor and back up a second later. The girls are still fixed on the eyes. I'm gonna have to do this bullshit, aren't I? Here it goes. But that doesn't mean it won't change. That's great. That gives us a little leeway to try and convince you. Monica rises up and smiles confidently. Her eyelids are shut, but I can practically see their excitement. Yes! Tara raises both her hands in joy. I guess that is okay. If I find out this was all for the cupcakes, I'll be super pissed. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Monica looks to each of the girls. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Okay, Scotsy, are you ready to walk home? Very much so. Yay! With that, the two of us depart the club room and begin to make our way home. The sun was out and blazing, with little to no clouds obstructing it. It is rather hot today, which makes my run later a little more arduous. Not like I really care. I've done many runs, some monitored in much hotter temperatures. And that is pretty difficult, as we were given a limited amount of water for the entire run. Our walk so far was not bad. Sayori struck up a few conversations about what I do outside of school. I, of course, am not going to tell her the truth about what I do. I have more than one document restricting me from doing so. I just simply shrug and respond, nothing really. You mean there's nothing you do out of school? Well, I guess I have a part-time job, but that's really only when they need me. And lately it's been pretty slow, so I guess I don't really do anything working. Well, what did you do before you came here? In my old school? Well, I was in a large building where all the students lived. At least my class. Your old class? Yeah. Wherever we weren't doing it, I think some of us sat around doing nothing, and some of us just picked up more extra credit work. I think the answer is obvious. Sayori shoots me a questioning glare, which I don't acknowledge. Well, what type of job do you have? It's not important. Sure it is. Come on, Scotty. Telling you about me, can't you do that too? It's like I'm talking to a brick sometimes. Ouch, that hurts. Judging my facial expression, Sayori sticks out her tongue at me. Meanie. Life secrets must be earned, my sweet blue-eyed angel. Sayori's eyes go wide. That's a joke, by the way. Sayori continues her barrage of questions all the way until we reach our neighbourhood. Goodness, woman. Oh, we're here. Yep. I turn back to her and start walking toward my house. Wait, Scotty! What? Thank you for walking me home. Going to literature club with me. You used some cheeky little tricks to achieve those milestones. But it's fine, you're welcome, Sayori. That's an interesting face. Did she pull that in the original game? I don't remember. Also, my microphone, I just noticed my microphone was really low. My phone rings. I reach into my coat pocket and grab it as I lean back on the tree. It was a dark night and the brush around it didn't allow any large pockets of moonlight in. I'm here. Good. Get ready. I end the call and slide the phone back into my coat. I keep my posture against the tree and notice a commotion down below. I look down from my perch into the street below. A black Rolls Royce pulls up to the curb. Several men get out of the car. A valet quickly accepts it and drives towards the nearby parking garage. Normal late night crowd. I immediately sense someone approaching me, so I turn around to face them. It's about time. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave it off here. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. If you liked it, please make sure you subscribe for more notifications about videos. And of course, leave a comment down below saying what you'd like to see from the channel. This one's interesting. I like the main character in this one. Sayori's cheeky, like more cheeky than usual, so I'm happy with that. Anyway, guys, let's make sure next time we don't get a game over. Bye!